In this video, I'm going to be going over the best defensive settings right now in NBA 2K24 My Team that is going to make a huge difference on the defensive end at the start of the year and help you guys get more stops in unlimited, salary cap mode, clutch time online, whatever game modes you guys are playing online. I feel like these defensive settings are going to make a huge difference, and I think they matter a ton at the start of the year. So let's just hop right into it. If you guys don't know how to actually save your defensive settings, when you're in your lineup screen, you go over to your coaching and you go to your coach game plan, and this is where the settings are going to save. So I was just playing with some stuff, that's why I have these settings on. These are not going to be the settings I'll run, and I'll just quickly go through and tell you guys, what I think are the best defensive settings right now in my team and kind of explain on each one. I like to do that at the start of the year, just give a little bit more in-depth explanation to why I'm doing some stuff. Later in the year, when I make some tweaks and changes to the defensive settings, I kind of just go through and tell you what they are. But in the first video, I like to just go a little bit slower and explain everything so you guys can understand why I'm choosing, my on-ball pressure, which I think is going to be set to tight. So I have on-ball pressure on tight. You definitely want to be close enough where they're not just going to shoot threes wide open. That's why I don't think you could go moderate or gap, obviously, because you're just going to leave them completely wide open. And this is going to be for your on-ball AI defender, right? So if you're sitting on the center or you're sitting on somebody in the corner, and let's say your point guard is guarding their point guard, if you have them on gap, they're just going to take a wide open three because your defender, your AI, is just going to be dropped all the way back. You don't want to really be on smother at this time of the year, especially with some fast rim running guards. You don't want to be with Russell Westbrook or De'Aaron Fox playing smother because those cards are just going to blow by you every single time. So that's why I feel like tight right now is the perfect on-ball pressure. You're close enough where they're not going to be able to shoot in your face, but you're also not, really close where you can just get blown by every single possession. For the off-ball pressure, I know a lot of people are going to run moderate, but I think tight is actually what a lot of people should run. You kind of are a little bit open for backdoor cut. So if you are getting backdoor cut a lot, then I would probably switch it to moderate, but I like to be tight off ball pressure. I don't like those catch and shoot threes. Those are, in my opinion, the worst things to give up on the defensive end. Maybe not the worst things, but one of the worst things. I hate when somebody can just kick to the wing or kick to the corner and just shoot in my face. So I like to go tight for that. Like I said, if I'm getting backdoor cut a lot or I'm playing somebody that knows how to backdoor cut and really abuse that, then I'll definitely go on my defensive settings and change it to moderate. But I think tight for right now is going to be what I'm going with. Now for the on-ball screen, I've messed with automatic. I've gone with go over and go under. I don't think I've done switch yet because it's just not useful at this time of the year. That's maybe for later in the game once we get taller cards. And then ice or on ball rotate, I don't think is really that great at all. So for me, it's between automatic, go over, and go under. I think for me, it's between automatic and go under. You definitely don't want to be going over. You're leaving open the drive every single time. As you can see on the right, it says the negatives are easier for quick guards to get into the lane. And when you're playing against most people who don't know how to dribble, don't know how to three hunt, don't know how to get wide open threes, they're going to most likely go around that screen and look to get to the paint. So for me, you definitely don't want to play go over. I think automatic could be good. I actually play go under, unless, once again, if I'm playing somebody with a Dame or a Kyrie or just a really good three hunting point guard and they know what they're doing, then I'm gonna come in and set it to automatic. But for right now, I'm playing go under. It's worked really well for me. I feel like a lot of people really want to get to the rim and try to rim run every single play, so I feel like go under is the best for the on-ball screen. But once again, you can kind of mess around with that however you like to. I think it's between go under and automatic. Now for the hedges, I do play no hedge. It's a little bit harder because you kind of have to control the center a little bit more on hedge if you actually want to hedge the screen. So once again, that's for if you're playing against a three hunting guard, then you might want to switch this to like a soft hedge or a catch hedge. I think those are probably, in my opinion, the two best. If you're going against somebody that really knows what they're doing on the defensive end, or sorry, somebody that really knows what they're doing offensively and can three hunt, then I would put probably soft hedge, right, as my hedge for hedge and hedge center. That's what I would do personally. But I think for right now, once again, most people want to get in the lane. But I think putting that on no hedge, it's going to give them some mid-range and some, 3-point shots. But I think it's, I like, as you can see for the positives, great if the screener is not a scoring threat and the ball carrier is not a great shooter. So if you're playing against people that once again want to get to the basket and want to rim run, I think no hedge for right now is going to be the best in the year. I have stay attached on always. I think everybody should have that on always. I know some people use on never, but I like it on always. You can play it on automatic if you want to, but I think you should go I think you should go always for stay attached. And for the on-ball screen and the post, this is stuff where you could maybe do in game if you want to, but I don't think it really matters. I also want to say quickly before I go down to the other defensive settings, a big tip I will say for this time of the year is defensive settings like this are really helpful, but the ones that can be even better is when you're making in-game player adjustments, player defensive settings. So if you match up against a Damian Lillard, maybe you want to go with the on-ball pressure as smother because he's going to be looking to 3-hunt a little bit more. Or maybe you say for, you know, Nate Thurman, right? Let's say you're guarding Nate Thurman. You don't really need off-ball pressure tight on Nate Thurman. You can do gap or leave them, so they're not going to worry about Nate Thurman or Dennis Rodman in the corner because those cards can't shoot, right? So if you're versing a center or a card that can't shoot, or like a Giannis, if you don't want to, you know, have to guard his Giannis, then you can put that on leave Giannis or gap Giannis, right? So I feel like those defensive settings, if you match up against if you're running moderate normally, sorry, my voice just went out there, but if you're, you know, if you're playing moderate, you know, normally for your off-ball pressure, and then in game you verse a Klay Thompson, you might want to switch that to tight, or maybe even deny ball on Klay Thompson so he's not getting the ball, you know, and shooting a wide open three. So I feel like those adjustments also matter a ton in game, you know, a lot more than people do think. So I think making those in-game adjustments can be super effective. But yeah, this is so far what I'm running for these settings. Like I said, off-ball screen and post I don't think really matters too much. Double team perimeter, I just leave that on manual. And then the other two that really matter are the screen help rules, the drive help rules, and then also the cutter help rules, which is going to be no help for all of these. You just don't want anybody helping and leaving a wide open three in the corner. It's pretty much knocked down every single time, especially this year where the game feels very easy to shoot on. And then the last one that I run is going to be transition defense. I like to have that on no threes when you're getting back in transition. I like my defenders to kind of go out to the 3-point line. I hate when I'm getting back on defense, and if I'm on wall up or if I'm on automatic, what happens a lot of times is in transition you give up a lot of threes, and I feel like that's really deadly at this time of the year. That's one of the only ways that people seem to be getting threes in unlimited is in transition. So I like to play no threes, prevent the three ball in transition, and if they score in the paint, then they score in the paint. That's just the way that I like to run it. You guys can go wall up or automatic if you want to. I just personally play on transition defense on no threes. But yeah, that's going to be my defensive settings. I'll just quickly scroll through here if you guys want to pause the video and like kind of apply it, because I used to do it all the time too when I was watching other people's, you know, defensive settings video. You know, you just pause the video and put them on if you want to, and once again, you guys can play with this, do whatever you guys want to. Don't have to be these exact defensive settings, but this is what I'm personally running in unlimited and have seemed to had some really good success. But let me know in the comment section down below, you know, are you guys running some defensive settings? How are you guys liking the gameplay this year? Let me know all the type of stuff down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.